All right, back here on SportsLine, filling out brackets tonight, and we will switch over to the South region here. Arizona, the top seed there, and maybe the top seed in the country. It will easily move past either Wright State or Bryant in that 116 game. Seton Hall TCU is an interesting matchup as well. TCU playing very hot down the stretch. Seton Hall, it's a lot of good wins, no bad losses, but TCU playing hot. I'm going to take the 9th-seeded Horned Frogs. Houston, UAB. UAB and Jelly Walker can really score it. They might be able to give Houston a bit of a threat. Houston has lost 2 of its top players this season to injury. But Kelvin Sampson's team keeps winning. It avenged one of those losses that it had, actually 2 losses that it had, to Memphis in the AAC final yesterday. I think Houston will have enough to win this game, but could be a little flimsy after that and could have some issues, frankly, against UAB. Chattanooga, amazing story. David Jean-Baptiste hit that half quarter to win the SoCon last week. I think they're really good. I think the Mocs are the best 13 seed in the bracket. I think it has a really bad matchup against Illinois. I heard some people yesterday say, oh, look at Chattanooga to pull it off. The bracket and the matchup don't favor the Mocs. Kofi Cockburn is going to be a load inside for them. Chattanooga in the second half of the season has been in the 300s of 2-point field goal defense. That's where Cockburn lives his life. I think Illinois will be able to take advantage of that. And, oh, by the way, the guards, Malachi Smith and Jean-Baptiste, they haven't seen perimeter defense like the defense Illinois will throw at them, specifically with Trent Frazier. I like Illinois to win. And I'll take Illinois against that beat-up Houston team. It's a fascinating matchup there in terms of the style of play each wants to have. But, again, I think Cockburn and company too strong there, especially if Illinois can get back to knocking down some shots. Arizona will have no problem with TCU, which would set up a rematch in the Sweet 16. Colorado State, Michigan, 6-11 game. Tennessee, Longwood right there. Oh, man, I go back and forth, 6-11 game. Here's the deal. Michigan has more talent than Colorado State does. If it can finally put it all together, it's going to win. Colorado State may have the best player on the floor, though, in David Roddy, a guy who's 6'6", 255, averaging nearly 20 points a game. He is a guy that is a load to handle and is going to be a difficult guard for Michigan. And Michigan's had all these problems down the stretch. I'm going to take Roddy and Colorado State over Michigan. Tennessee's going to beat Longwood. They just are. Tennessee's going to beat Colorado State because they'll be able to find a way to defend Roddy and get that job done. Ohio State, Loyola, Chicago, intriguing matchup. Loyola's Sweet 16 last year. Ohio State lost a 2-15 game to Oral Roberts. It feels like the experience goes to Loyola. But Porter Moser left, and so did Cameron Krutwig. Loyola's not nearly as good inside. Drew Valentine coaching his first NCAA tournament game. Chris Holtmann, good coach for Ohio State. E.J. Liddell, a beast inside. I think Ohio State wins that game, kind of avenges their disappointment from a year ago. Villanova will beat Delaware, and I do think the Wildcats will knock off Ohio State to get to the Sweet 16. So then you have a pair of rematches. Arizona, Illinois. Wildcats won by 8, or actually 4, in Champaign earlier this year. Tennessee loses by 18 to Villanova really early on in the year. Great big man matchup. Christian Koloko against Kofi Cockburn. Koloko maybe defended Cockburn as well as anybody in the country did in their first matchup. It was either him or Zach Edey. And I think Arizona has the firepower again to get by Illinois for the second time this season. The other game, I like the reverse. Tennessee was young and experienced back in November. It's playing like a veteran team now. I like the Vols to turn the table against Villanova and get to that Elite Eight game. Here's the question about the Elite Eight game. Tennessee versus Arizona. Tell me the health status of Kerr Kriisa. If Kirk Kriisa is back and healthy, I think Arizona can beat a Tennessee team, which it lost to, in a very rowdy Thompson Bowling Arena earlier this year. If he's not healthy, I think Arizona's going to have a miserable time possessing the basketball, and Tennessee wins. At the moment, that's a question mark, and I live in Tennessee, so I'm going to go with the Vols there to get to the Final Four, which of course would be incredibly historic. Midwest region, Kansas, we're going to go with them. We'll find the Jayhawks past whoever the play-in game winner is. San Diego State, really solid team out of the Mountain West, will beat Creighton. Iowa, red hot out of the Big Ten, gets a kind of a fortunate 12 seed with Richmond, who won the automatic bid after coming out of the A-10. Watch out for a 13-4 upset here. Providence, not nearly as good as the 4 seed. Record-wise, fine, but the metrics don't say the same story. South Dakota State probably could have been a 12. Shoot the ball 45% from 3. I like SDSU to pull maybe the biggest upset of the tournament. Iowa State LSU. I love the athleticism of the Tigers, but without Will Wade, now you're going with an interim coach coming off the SEC tournament. I'll take Iowa State, who's beaten top-end teams, to get through there in a game played in Milwaukee, by the way, so should have the crowd edge. Wisconsin, talking about the crowd edge, will have a big advantage in Milwaukee over Colgate. Miami, Florida, USC too much talent. Auburn, Jacksonville State, interesting in-state matchup there, but Auburn's going to win. I like the Tigers pass USC. Wisconsin will use that home cooking pass Iowa State. Iowa will beat South Dakota State in that second round and stay hot, and then get Kansas in the Sweet 16. But I think the Jayhawks are a good matchup against the Hawkeyes, and that run finally ends. Auburn, Wisconsin. I will take Auburn because I think, frankly, the Tigers are just more efficient, and they will find a way to do it from more angles than Wisconsin can. Kansas, Auburn, Elite 8. I will take Kansas and the Jayhawks and Bill Self, which means the Final Four: Gonzaga, 1 seed, Kentucky, a 2 seed, Tennessee, a 2 seed, Kansas, a 1 seed. That's the Final Four. We'll take a break. We'll come back, and I'll talk those games over right after this here on SportsLine on News Channel 5+.